This is the Cancer Boss Method podcast, the place to be when cancer sucks and you don't want it to. I'm Leslie Nance, survivor, cancer coach, and healing mentor. Come learn the truth about what your role is in your own healing. No BS, just real strategies from a cancer coach who has been there, done that. And I'm talking about healing. Hey there, beautiful souls. It's Leslie Nance, your holistic cancer coach, and welcome to another powerful episode of the Cancer Boss Method. Today, I want to talk about something that is going to set you up for some empowerment, and maybe it's going to shake you up a little bit in the very best way. We talk about frequencies. Healing is a high emotional frequencies. And to live in that frequency, it takes a very powerful mindset. It also requires emotional stability and a whole lot of self-awareness. Now, if I said that and that statement kind of rattled you a little bit and suddenly you wondered, wait a second, Leslie, I don't even know if I'm capable of that. Because maybe recently you just had like a meltdown, or, there were times where a lot of tears flowed, or you felt anger, or you felt frustration, and you started writing a story about yourself. Stories that sound like, I'm not strong enough, or I'm not emotionally stable. I don't have it in me. But I want you to take a breath, boss, because you do. And here's the truth bomb about it all. Healing isn't something that you get. It's not something that you acquire. It's something that you allow. And that is where we are diving into deep today. We're going to go a long way really fast here. So let me ask you, do you know what I mean when I say high frequency? A frequency is like a radio station. You're driving in your car and you are listening to FM radio. I mean, yeah, I'm that old, so whatever. But you're listening to FM radio and it gets a little scratchy, right? So you used to, you turn the knob. You don't really do that anymore, right? But let's just go back to the olden days when you turn the knob. And you would turn the knob and you would get it just right and you would get a better signal and the station would be clear. This used to happen a lot between Dallas and Fort Worth when I was a teenager. We'd want that clear signal and you just turn the knob a little bit and you get this clear frequency. And that's a lot like emotional frequencies as well. And when you're out, it's out of frequency, it's staticky, it's not, you don't hear things as well. It's not what you want. It's undesirable. But when you're in frequency, especially a high frequency, you feel that. It feels different. It sounds different. Your language is different. Everything is different. And so if you've been in this space with me for a while, you've heard it. You've heard me talk about high frequency. But today I want to make it practical and I want to make it tangible and I want to take the woo out of it, like the woo-woo out of it. And I want to ground it for you. So I want to talk about the emotional guidance scale, and I will put up a graphic for you here so you can see it. And this is the work of Abraham Hicks. And yes, the laws of attraction crew, that's where this emotional guidance scale comes from. So don't get tripped up on the name. Don't get tripped up on, Abraham Hicks and all that, because I'm not teaching you to manifest a sports car here. I'm here to show you how to use this scale to raise your emotional vibration for clarity, for balance, and yes, for healing. So here's the graphic. I'm going to put it right over here beside me. So let's look at the top of the scale. At the top of the scale, we see joy and appreciation and freedom and love. And at the bottom of the scale, we see despair and grief and fear and powerlessness. And as we spiral through these emotions on a daily basis, moment by moment, the spiral goes up and down. And here's something I bet you've never thought about. But if you are emotionally stable, you are spiraling through this all the time in low frequencies and high frequencies. Did that make you feel better? Does that make you go, oh, I'm human? Because it should. You are not meant to just feel those higher frequencies. You are meant to feel all the frequencies, high and low. Now, the lower frequencies are typically undesirable. We don't want to hang out there for a long time. So I'd like to show you how to spiral up and use this scale to spiral up out of those lower frequencies so that you're not hanging out there all the time. And if you ask me, where is healing on this scale, Leslie? Where do you think that we heal the most? I'm actually going to tell you right in the middle. Right in the middle of that. Where you're content. That's where healing happens. Not in the high highs and not in the low lows. So let's just say that you have a scan coming up and you're feeling worried or anxious about that. Now, if you look on the scale, what is just above worry? Doubt, right? So maybe you ask yourself, what am I doubting? And boom, you have moved up on that frequency ladder. You have chosen a higher frequency. Maybe next you hit impatience. And that feels like, let's just get this over with. I just want to get this over with. I just want to move on. And that is actually a higher vibration as well. And no, really, it's too hard to try to jump from worry to total joy. That would be more like faking it till you make it, or that's really called emotional masking, which you don't want to do. You cannot fake your way to healing. Okay, this is not the time. You might be able to fake it till you make it in a new job or in a new relationship or something that you're not certain of, but you can't do that with healing. Sorry, not sorry. I said it. Real healing happens when you honor where you are on this emotional scale, and then you just reach for one emotion higher, one frequency higher, one feeling that is better, or a thought that is better. And eventually you're going to keep climbing that scale. And eventually you're going to hit joy. And joy and those higher frequencies are magnetic. Those higher frequencies, they help pull in healing. They help pull in peace. They help pull in freedom in motion in your life. So let me ask you, has anybody ever challenged you to write a letter to your cancer? I know it feels a little hokey pokey. I have a whole lesson in week 5 of the Cancer Boss Method. I ask my clients to do just that. I ask them to write a letter. And first I ask them to just give it hell, like just write all the raw stuff, like tell it off, tell it what you think about it. And then I ask them to forgive it. Because forgiveness isn't passive. Forgiveness is contentment. It is the middle ground of that healing. It's the middle point of the scale. It's balance. It says, I'm not in despair, but I'm not pretending to be euphoric either. I'm steady. And that's the frequency where healing really starts to root down and begin to rise in us. So let me tell you a quick story. In a recent conference, actually just this past weekend, I was at the Beljanski conference and I met this incredible woman, Anna. And Anna doesn't have cancer. She's not a health professional like the other attendees, but her soul was lit up by something really deep inside of her. And it was this raw mission to try to fix what is broken in our healthcare system. And she and her friend grilled me for an hour, what kind of supplements, alcohol, mindset, like all of it. And we had this amazing soulful talk right there, like at a lunch table. I mean, I talked with my mouth full more than a person should in a public space. When I walked away from that, I had this nudge inside of me that said, You know, there's something deeper there. There's something more there. And I expressed a little bit of that in our conversation. So fast forward next morning, I was in my very soulful meditation. I did some yoga. I was sitting in meditation. It was the second day of the conference. And I had a metaphysical experience where the spirit handed me a letter to Anna, and it said, "To Anna." And I didn't want to open it. It felt really personal. And so I really realized then it was my not wanting to deliver the message. What's keeping me from like looking at this? And again, metaphysical experience, not literal, obviously. And so I opened the message, and the message said, "Anna, you must work from love and not anger." And then the spirit said, "You have to tell Anna this. You have to give her this letter." So after searching for hours that day in the conference, like all day I was looking for her, literally all day looking for her, never saw her. And as I was leaving out of the conference, leaving like the hotel in the parking garage, like in my t-shirt and jeans, like back to my comfortable clothes. And I'm leaving the parking garage. And as I was pulling out of my parking space, I thought, you know, I have this one regret from this conference is that I didn't get to talk to Anna. Hopefully she'll email me and we can continue our conversation. I pull around the corner, and lo and behold, Anna and her friend are walking up the ramp. No kidding. Walking up the ramp. I like stopped my car. I rolled down my window and I said, "Anna." And I delivered the message. "Anna, you must work from love and not anger." And she said, "I'm angry. I'm livid. I'm livid at how broken the system is." But her anger, her low frequency is actually blocking her impact. She has potential for amazing impact. And when we vibrate at that lower state, we attract experiences and people and situations that reinforce that low vibration. I was so happy to be able to deliver that message to her, although I was resistant. She was practically a stranger. But I act when the spirit asks me to. So let's talk strategy. How do we attract more of what we want? How do we attract those higher frequencies? How do we get to those higher frequencies when we are just downtrodden from our cancer diagnosis, when we feel fear, when we feel anxiety, when we feel like a victim? I'm going to give you 5 strategies to help raise your frequency naturally. So 1 is be in service to others. Supporting someone else gets you out of your own head, right? But be careful, because this is not about avoiding your emotions. It's about redirecting your energy with awareness. Number 2, I want you to think about appreciating the situation. Stuck on the side of the road with the flat tire, grumpy and late, start stacking appreciation. I'm safe. It's not freezing cold outside. I have AAA on the way. I have water and snacks. I have a blanket to hang over the door so I can pee if I need to. Nobody can see me. Appreciation will snap you back into grace faster than anything that you can choose. So choose appreciation. Appreciation for the situation will start to raise your frequency naturally. Number 3 is distract yourself. My favorite distraction is music, right? Music can raise your frequency. I will also warn you that sad songs can sink you as well. But if you crank up your favorite song, your favorite like dance music, your favorite that makes you shake your booty and sing out loud and grab your wooden spoon and sing into it, I just dare you to try to stay in despair or stay in sadness or stay in victim mode with that going. Find your soundtrack of awesome. Make it your playlist. And when the funk starts to set in, turn it up and turn it on loud. Get out of your chair. Sing. Number 4 is celebrate the small steps. Every little climb on the scale counts. From despair to anger, which is a higher emotion. From hopelessness to impatience, higher emotion. From contentment to optimism, Celebrate the climb. Don't just celebrate when you get to joy and freedom and the highest. Celebrate each better emotion that you are choosing. And that's going to take you where you want it to flow naturally into your life and healing to flow to you naturally. And then last, I just want to say, ride the wave. Like, don't suppress your feelings, surf them, acknowledge your feelings, forgive yourself, and then choose again. This is the rhythm of healing. Emotionally stable is moving through this scale and allowing yourself to feel all of your emotions. This is definitely the Cancer Boss way. So let me leave you with this thought. Just a little mantra. I can decide today to recalibrate my energy and commit to love and joy. One more time. I can decide today to recalibrate my energy and commit to love and joy. Say it out loud. Say it multiple times. Make it your truth today. Because when you choose to allow healing instead of chasing it down with fear and force, you become a magnet for the miraculous. Imagine that, a magnet for the miraculous. Okay, you've got this and I've got you. And if this episode resonates with you, make sure that you're sharing it with somebody that you love, somebody that you feel like might need it. If you're ready to take your work even deeper, please check out the Cancer Boss Method or join us in the Cancer Boss Collective. I'll put some information below this video. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit like, leave us a comment. I'm going to be responding to those if you have questions. So until next time, just make sure that you are keeping that spiraling up. If you have enjoyed this episode, it's time to connect. Make sure you follow this podcast and check out all the socials on anystagecancer.com. If you're ready to talk about your own healing using the Cancer Boss Method, then click the link below this episode. Hey, and remember, cancer's not your destiny. Okay, I'm outie.